Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Zoronden here, and let's get into the Starcraft 2 action today. In the top left corner, coming in the blue Protoss, is going to be UCAP's own Adonimus. And coming in the bottom right corner, not a Protoss, the red Zerg Raggy. So let's see how these two guys do here, and blowing each other up, I suppose. I finally have a mirror matchup game. I haven't done a non-mirror matchup in a while. I did a lot of mirror matchups accidentally there for a while. So I made sure to pick something that was not a mirror matchup, and I wanted to get some Zerg in as I haven't done any Zerg in a while. So we'll see how Raggy does against UCAP's Adonimus here, and hopefully get an entertaining game out of the deal. Let's go ahead and bring up that production tab there. I opened it and closed it right away. I actually haven't casted in almost a week. It's feeling very weird, and happy to get back to the action here. Getting you a weird day Starcraft. I think I'm releasing this on Sunday. I'm not quite sure yet. The weekend's been a little weird because it's Memorial Day, so I'm not really wanting to do much, but definitely want to get some content out to you guys as I've been slacking off and dealing with work this past week. So hopefully things are going to smooth out here, and hopefully this game is going to be entertaining for us. As these two players, Masters League, of course, are going to be duking it out here. We do have a gas coming up by Adonimus, as well as his gate, of course. Looking down on Raggy, we do have a pool, no expansion yet, so we'll keep an eye on that and what he plans to do there. I would honestly expect an expansion out of him any time now, but we'll just keep an eye on that for now. Obviously, Adonimus not going for the wall-in up here, opting to just limit the movement of units by putting these placements of buildings, as you can see he's doing here. I always like this placement of buildings. You don't see it as often as a wall-off, and I think it's a lot of fun. And just a different play style, a different reactionary use of buildings. Sometimes it's better for who you're playing against, or the map, or just a lot of different variances in why you would do that instead of a typical wall off. We do have the expansion for Raggy coming down now, as well as grabbing a gas. It looks like he's just playing a little more reserved, I suppose, is why he got that pool so much before the hatchery. And I don't mind that. I like seeing aggression earlier, and if that's your pool up because you're worried about aggression, that is a safe bet. And again, though, it's going to slow down that economy. We're not going to see it as quick, and you can see Adonimus now plopping down his expansion and his natural as well. And of course, he's not terribly behind Raggy at this point, so Adonimus is going to be coming out with a slight lead here, probably because of that, but it is going to have to take some time to develop, obviously. Second gas now going up for Adonimus. Warp Gate research, of course, on the way. Do have a Mothership Core coming up soon as well. Where does he have that queued up to go? Just down to the natural. He's going to start placing some buildings over here, maybe doing a pseudo wall-off there, or maybe just using it for a proxy pylon. Honestly, probably just a proxy pylon. I wouldn't expect a ton of buildings to be placed down here. These ramps are so big, it's really a pain to try and wall those off, so much so that it's almost just not worth wasting your time. Raggy is sending up two Scouterlings, going to get in the base of Adonimus. Obviously, with the no wall off, they're going to scoot around there pretty easily. The Mothership Core will quickly take them out if they don't move around too fast. We do have some gates going up, so Raggy is going to be maybe a little concerned. Oh, and he does trap that probe. The unfortunate mishap for that probe there. And Adonimus, yeah, there he goes. Don't need to let those lings do free damage. Luckily, only taking out the probe instead of pylon or anything else like that. Adonimus is natural now up. Raggy starting to saturate his natural as well. Want to get those drones mining minerals, obviously. And as I was saying, this wall-off is, it's not a wall-off per se right now, but it's definitely going to restrict the flow of the Zerg, which always is good. You never want to give Zerg free roam to run, or free range to roam around. There it is. So again, that's not a bad idea. You got to put those gates somewhere anyways. Why not create a pseudo kind of choke point? So I like that. And we do have a Stargate coming up for Adonimus. Hopefully going to see some Oracles or something like that on the field. Maybe even Tempests. Tempests are always fun. I don't get to see them too much. And a second pylon going to go down there. Don't want to Artosis pylon yourself. Here come a few Speedlings. they're not going to be able to do too much damage here. And look at this. This is very quickly going to become a wall-off. I mean, there's really one gap here left that is an extreme choke. So Adonimus ignoring what I said and actually going ahead and walling off there. I like that, you know, prepping up here, knowing he was going to do this wall-off down here, and just allowing him to create even better choke points and whatnot. A bit of a combat going on there. The Lings obviously don't stand much chance against this force. It's an odd force, to be honest. 3 sentries, 2 zealots, and a Moab core, you know, but you can't really complain about that. It did what it needed, and for the moment, Raggy doesn't really have anything on the field. He does have quite a few Lings popping out now, and he might need them as this force by Adonimus is moving across the map, and if this queen gets caught out of position, that's not going to happen. That is a lot of Lings. They will be easily mopping up this group of stuff here. The force fields are going to help a little bit. Obviously, the Mothership Core trying to do what it can, and the Lings, wow, very good force fields do force those Lings to retreat. The Zealots are up front. The sentries in behind. That was a good move by Adonimus. Some early micro there. And we do have an Oracle coming in here. Going to start beaming on the Queens. Force fields going up, trying to save the sentries and Zealots over here. It isn't going to end too well. The Mothership Core is quite a bit damaged. The Lings do get defeated again. One of the Queens did go down in the meantime as well. The Oracle continuing to harass. That Queen knows I can't really take this Oracle on one-on-one. And the Oracle, oh, does snipe off that Queen and does not get sniped off by the Spore Colony. Very nice move by Adonimus there. And Raggy just continuing to kind of butt heads against this strange force by Adonimus. But I like it. It's doing what he needs. The micro is coming out very brilliantly. That group could have easily died to this many Lings. It probably is going to now. That is a lot of Lings. But we'll see. It didn't happen last time, and it may not happen again. One of the Zealots did go down, trying to see if the other one's in there. I don't believe he is. And that is going to be a recall for Adonimus. He knows he can't hold that up too much longer. Where did he recall to? Why don't I see him? There he is. It's just faded out, I guess. So managing to save all 3 sentries, in fact. But suddenly they're knocking on Adonimus's door. Raggy is coming in here with quite a few Lings. The Oracles are going to zap him pretty quick, but he's out of energy. And in the meantime, sentries trying to do what they can. Do have some buildings warping in there. I thought maybe it was cannons. It is not. Zealot desperately trying to hold that line, keep those Lings out from getting into the squishy sentries. A nice force field does stop it again. And again, that force field micro and positioning of Zealots by Adonimus, keeping himself alive, keeping him in the game, and doing so with minimal resources, really. It's some incredible play here by Adonimus so far. I'm really enjoying what he is doing here, holding off Raggy, and I am amazed that Raggy is still sitting with Lings. I would love to see him transition into Banelings or Roaches or, you know, anything else. For the meantime, though, he seems to be happy with all these Lings, and he's sitting on a supply cap right now that he's actually been supply capped for a while. He is grabbing a 3rd now, and we do have a squadron of Phenai coming in here. Probably going to catch this Queen out of position, or maybe just go for a drone, I guess. Why not grab a few drones while they're repositioning? Obviously can't do much against that Spore Crawler or anything. In fact, going to grab that Queen as well. She wasn't going anywhere. It was smart to grab those drones, and then the Queen, she will be popped quite easily. Oh, he's going to have to lift again. If he's not careful, he's going to lose a Phoenix here. There we go. Going to snipe her off once and for all. Excuse me, and get out of there. In the meantime, though, this 3rd is in trouble for Adonimus. He's going to have to cancel that, I think. Coming in with a few Zealots, desperately going to try and save it, but it was not the case. Had to cancel it, and that is a lot of Lings. They try to go for the juicy base, but not going to get it. Indeed, there's a Tempest on the mount, and that large group of Zealots, sentries, and single Tempest going to stop those Lings quite easily. And Raggy still just sitting on these Lings. I'm failing to explain what he's trying to do right now. This is it's just not going to hold up. You can't beat a Masters League player with Lings only. I mean, Adonimus's micro is brilliant enough as it is, but now Raggy's trying to beat him with just Zergling. I mean, look at that. They're streaming across the map. Don't get me wrong. There's a ton of them, and I believe he's got some decent upgrades. And just won one, but it's just not going to hold the line eventually. I mean, for the moment, Adonimus isn't spending too much crazy resources. He is getting into the Void Rays and the Tempest now, which is, of course, not terribly effective against Zergling. But once those numbers get up large enough, he's just going to walk into Raggy's base and blast it into space. Failing to explain still what Raggy is trying to accomplish here. Adonimus still trying to do some Phoenix harassment. Does manage to take out a few more drones. Going to grab a queen here. Not going to take her out, though. He's going to have to bail on that. Doesn't want to lose those necessarily. A few more drones there, though. Probably going to snipe off at least one. There's not two. Zergling not effective against air units, as you can see. Raggy does seem to be transitioning now into a Spire, though, and he's got a good amount of gas. He's probably going to pop up about 15 mutas when that finishes, and that's going to be a crazy tech swap versus Adonimus here, as Adonimus is pretty much not really playing against the Zergling. Obviously, all the Zealots are, but the Tempest, I don't know Tempest versus Muta, really. But I don't think these mutas are going to do as much as Raggy hopes. Where is that Spire? There it is, just about to finish. It is actually at the natural. Interesting placement there. I guess that works, whatever you need to do. Raggy is grabbing a 4th and a 5th, though. He's going to try and expand massively off of this muta push, I'm guessing, as those mutas still not on the way, actually. That's another surprise. There we go. Now they're getting there. 11 mutas on the way. I expected a few more than that, but then again, Raggy has been playing bizarrely this entire match anyways. Can't really figure that guy out. In the meantime, Adonimus grabbing his 4th as well. Want to get those precious resources incoming, and looks like he might be ready for a push. And this has got to be one of the oddest Protoss troop movements I've ever seen. Not often you see one stalker in an entire Protoss army, and I'm loving the Tempest, but again, just a bizarre army coming out here, and that's just because Raggy's been playing so odd, and I think Adonimus has been trying to think of a tech tree that Raggy might go down so that Adonimus could counter it, but here we go, and this is going to be a big engagement. Obviously, those mutas going to come into play here if he wants to live. And here come a few lings. Those aren't the bulk of the force. In fact, a few of those get sniped off for free. And he's going to make the move here on the 3rd. That is a lot of queens, but they're going to get popped pretty dang quick. A lot of lings, and there come the mutas. The Tempests are in serious doubt here. Oh, the Mothership Core gets sniped off. The recall canceled. And a lot of troops for Adonimus are now going to die. The mutas doing brilliant damage to this Air Force. Those big units just not dealing out damage quick enough to that many Mutalisks. And that tech swap for Raggy working off. Did it a lot later than I think he should have, but it can't argue with the results. And suddenly, Adonimus is in a bit of trouble here as these mutas are rolling across the map. And not a lot of defense on the mineral lines, or the probe lines, for Adonimus. He could definitely get in there and get to the juicy bits. Unfortunately, or fortunately for Adonimus, I suppose, Raggy went for cannons instead of probe lines. A very odd decision there. Definitely not what he wanted to do, and he pulled his mutas back as well. So again, strange play out of Raggy. I just can't figure out what this guy is trying to accomplish. Oh, nice proxy nexus here going on. You do a little bit of planetary nexus action there, I suppose, is what he's thinking. A few cannons going to go to work on those mutas. That is a lot of mutas. Oh my gosh, how many even is that? There were 22 mutas on the field. The Phoenix is moving in here, really trying to do some desperate damage. They're pretty good against the mutas, but that amount of mutas is just a sheer blitzkrieg number. They're really moving in there, though, and they're starting to snipe them off as they do some good micro again by Adonimus. Those mutas numbers have swapped. The Phoenixes have them. Those mutas need to get the heck out of there. They're just throwing their lives away now. The lings, though, continuing to rampage through everything. Again, a Phoenix bulk isn't going to do much good against a bunch of lings. He is lifting a few, I thought, in there. Some zealots did warp in, and that remaining few lings are going to run home as they want to live. They're not going to accomplish much more here. We do have some Templar on the field by Adonimus. Do we have a Storm? I believe I can check the upgrades tab for that. Yes, we do have Storm on the field, so look out for that. Do always love some good Storm play, and that Templar may want to do it, otherwise he's going to get picked off. He does get picked off, but he gets the Storm off, kills a good amount of lings in the meantime. Zealot's going to work on that ling line. Again, tons and tons of lings on the field. Do have a couple Templar coming in, though. Those are going to be so good against this Muta Ball and this Ling Ball. The Mutas did come in and get a probe line here, finally. Now they're going to move up into the natural, or the main, rather, and go for the probe line here that is pretty exhausted. Not a lot of units here, and the Phoenix Bolt does come in. It's going to clean up these Mutalisks pretty quickly. They're going to try and snipe off a few more probes, and they do get a few more in the meantime. We do have another big bulk of Zergling as well as Hydralisks on the field now. We're looking at 2-2 for everybody. Only one on the range for the Zerg. In fact, let's check out that upgrades tab again. Looking at, obviously, metabolic boosts, 2 armor, 2 melee, and 1 range for the Zerg, as well as 1 air flyers. Ooh, what is going on down here? A couple of Void Rays caught out of position. I don't know if he sniped any off. Definitely did some damage, though. And Raggy's going to be moving his Hydras into position. I don't see Adonimus getting away with too much here, as that is a lot of Hydralisks and not enough Void Rays. Yeah, indeed, the Void Rays are going to pull back. And Raggy, or Adonimus rather, sitting on only 1-2, actually. So, and that's air, actually. So, not a ton of upgrades by Adonimus at this time. So, he's going to need to be careful. I mean, Raggy may pull away with this game here if Adonimus isn't careful. Obviously, Raggy's sitting on 5 bases right now. I would expect him to possibly take a 6th soon. That's when it starts getting hard to keep bases, really hard at least, because you're almost getting onto the other guy's side of the map. That is a lot of Hydralisks. Oh my gosh. And that is not going to bode well for Adonimus' Air Force. But Raggy was pulling back there, maybe baiting, I'm not sure. But those, oh my gosh, those Archons die so quickly. And a bunch of Storms going to be coming down here. Oh man, the bulk of the Hydra is getting seriously damaged. They do not want to play with those Templar. And again, taking a lot of damage. That is a low health army of Hydralisks. Gonna try and snipe off that morphing in Archon. Not going to be able to do that today. The Hydras are still wanting to push. No Ling backup, though. That could be a mistake, although there aren't a lot of ground units here right now. And just look at the Hydras popping left and right. That's because they got so low from those storms. Those Hydras probably really shouldn't be pushing right now. Probably be better luck to take them home, let them regen a little bit. Oh my gosh, though, that is so many Archons. Oh, if he could have sniped off those Archons, that would have been devastating. But not going to, or not Archons, Templar. But not going to be able to do that. He is going to spin around here, probably take out this debris, and try to go for that squishy third. But I don't think he's going to accomplish too much here. The Void Rays are going to be able to move over, obviously, pretty quick. Some Roaches finally on the map. Going to be engaging in a little combat as well. And here come the bulk group by Adonimus. And those, those units get trapped by the force field. They're not going anywhere except for hell. And Raggy just keeping the pressure on, he's losing a lot of units, though. And I think that is going to come back to bite him. As he is spending a lot of money walking right into that planetary nexus, not wanting to do that. That is some owie from that giant cannon, and actually it's gone now, so it was just a bit left there of it. And again, Raggy just, Hydra Roach is okay, but I would expect him, the way he's been playing, to back that up with some Lings or something, but I guess he's happy with Hydra Roach for now, and we'll see if he can crack the shell of Adonimus. But Adonimus is starting to roll out his Colossi army, and I mean, that's just going to do so much damage, this clumped up group of units. Let's see how that plays out. I do see Adonimus grabbing a 5th, but Raggy might have a beeline for it. He does seem to be going right for it. Ooh, trying to tease him with those zealots there. Adonimus knows what's going on. In fact, yeah, Raggy does have a location of that. Boom, a time bomb going down there. This is a big engagement. Some brilliant storms up front. The Roach is really absorbing a lot of those storms. The mass of the army is now retreating. The Hydralisks are taking on the base. Yes, they do get at least the cancel. I'm not sure if they sniped it off. Ooh, and a bunch of Hydras go the wrong way. Get barbecued by the Colossus. This is all that's left. Suddenly, Raggy is reeling from this attack. He is in full retreat. Can he rebuild his army in time? A warp in of a few zealots there. That Ling gets toasted by a stalker shot, I believe. And I don't really see any production going on by Raggy. What's going on here? He's sitting on a ton of cash, but he's not rebuilding an army. I mean, is he throwing away the game here? Is this GG or what's going on? Those Hydras just do not stand a chance. They are completely wasted. And I think Raggy's thrown in the towel. I don't know what's going on. He's got a ton of cash. In fact, I'm baffled here. I've never seen this before. The player player doing fairly well. He's playing Zerg. He could have rebuilt his army completely, and it's just like he's gone AFK. Completely just... Does he even have any APM going right now? No APM. Raggy is gone. I think he might have rage left, which is lame. But I'm going to speed it up here as Raggy basically has no units on the map. I'm really not sure what's going on here. As I said, I think he rage left, which is pretty lame. There he goes. He finally leaves the game. Not sure what that is about. Maybe he just got pissed and went and got a glass of water or something. But a great match by Adonimus, and really winning it with his micro. Some great play and some confusing stuff by Raggy. I don't know what was going on with that dude. But to each his own, I guess. Either way, guys, I have been Zoronden. Thanks for tuning in. Please do thumbs up and subscribe, and I need you to send me replays. Oh my. I have this big Adonimus pack that I've been doing for a while, but because I've done so many Adonimus, I want to do other people, and in fact, I'm going to be deleting this replay pack very soon so that I can't depend on it. So I can't depend on it anymore. So send me replays, guys. That's Zoronden@gmail.com. That's in the information below. And that's going to do it for today. Please do thumbs up and subscribe so I can bring you more StarCraft 2 action. As I said, I have been Zoronden, and I'll catch you all next time.